Are you ready for your window shoppers to become paying customers? Ecwid Ecommerce is here to make that happen. We can help you automatically show the exact product visitors saw but didn't purchase on your site wherever they go on Facebook and Instagram using this magic called dynamic Facebook retargeting. To show these ads to your prospects today, sign up in your Ecwid Control Panel in the marketing section and look for the Facebook remarketing app. This is fully integrated into Ecwid and Facebook and so simple and effective you'll wonder why you hadn't done this sooner. To help you decide, if you sign up now and spend $50 by February 15th, you'll receive a free $100 advertising credit from our friends at Facebook. Okay, back to the show.
This is the Ecwid E-Commerce Show with your host, Jesse Ness, along with Richard O'Tay.
Richard, Happy New Year, man.
Happy New Year to you.
Yeah.
You have a good one?
I did. Sleeping by probably 10:30 or so.
You watched the New York
New York
the ball drop instead of the San Diego.
That's New Year's for me. The New York ball drop.
The
call.
9 o'clock is the new 12 o'clock.
Yeah. I mean, the kids weren't even awake, so it was all good. But yeah, with the new year comes time to reflect and plan for the new year. And I've been hearing I'm obviously a podcast junkie. We make podcasts, so everybody else has done their 2019 predictions for the year. So I wanted to make sure we got our couple predictions out there, put them onto tape so we can look back a year from now and see if we were, pat ourselves in the back or be like, man, totally missed that one.
So are we going for the for sure win here? Are we going for the most
tough one,
the one that no one else is talking about? A little bit of both.
We'll get the for sure win in there.
Okay.
Video will become more important in 2019.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. For sure.
Yeah. For sure.
Right. There's a for sure couple wins. We'll get a little specific.
Yeah. More video. Okay. Yeah. All right. We got a guaranteed win on the board. All right. So now, Rich, let's get a little more. Let's get risky here.
Let's risky. I say, conversational commerce in many forms. I'll narrow it down to get more specific here.
Mm-hmm.
Will become more and more relevant. Not just a thing you heard about, but let's just say what I mean by that is either bots, so automation via bots and Messenger or whatever, but more specifically, voice. So
right.
I think voice commerce will become a thing. I think
you give yourself a lot of you got bots and voice in there now.
Yeah, it's conversational commerce.
Right.
It's basically we've gone into this a ton of time, and I don't want to go too deep. The for sure one is we're going to see more Instagram, we're going to see more Facebook, we're going to see more Google, we're going to see more videos. Like we know all that. So we've heard everyone talk about these other predictions. We want to go into a little more specifics. 2 years in a row, Alexa and Google Home have been the number one sellers.
Yep.
At Christmas.
Sure.
So now I think there's enough devices in the home. We're going to go through a little bit of parlor tricks for the rest of the year. You and I own these already. We're already junkies for them, but we also know they're mostly parlor tricks. They're mostly like, put the timer on,
timers and music and news for now.
And Alexa gets to be the bad guy to the kids because the timer's gone instead of us being the bad guy. But more specifically, it will be a thing. I think, let's just say 3. This will be probably a
percentage of e-commerce next in 2019 comes from voice. I'll even give you conversational.
Oh shoot! If you let me throw in bots too, Oh my gosh! If you let me throw in bots, I could say, and especially if it's not just America, it's crazy numbers. I think it could end up being 25%. But if
all right.
If you let me throw in bots,
we're gonna write that down.
Total commerce. They're buying on WeChat. They're buying cars in China.
Okay.
So if you let me throw in those, it's really high. If you just keep me in the world of voice alone, like Alexa, buy my soap, somewhere between 2 and 3%. And I still think I'm guessing high. But even if it's at 0.5% right now, that would be a lot of percentages higher.
No, I hear you. I like I do think you're high on that one.
Yeah. Not literally.
Yeah. Pretty sure you're not high, but I think you're high in your prediction. So, but I love it. I love voice commerce, and I think that's good for people to be thinking about. How do you integrate into that world? It doesn't mean pull over your car right now and write down voice commerce and do your next strategy. Like that's not what we're saying here. But But think about it. Yeah.
How about you?
All right. So I'm not going to be quite as bold with that, but I'm going to say my prediction is that Instagram will be the number one social media of 2019. So obviously it's already kind of getting there. But I think that everybody has this negative feeling about Facebook, whether it's their continued privacy problems or the hangover of the election of 2016, or just in general, people are negative on Facebook, but they totally love this totally different company called Instagram, which is owned by the exact same company, Facebook.
It's amazing, isn't it?
Yeah.
It makes you realize, like, should I have more business?
Yeah, like I won't use Facebook. I deleted Facebook and blah blah blah. I just use Instagram now. Like, oh yeah, really, yeah. You're still using Facebook. So, and we talked a little bit. Like, I believe that Facebook is going to put all their attention and all the power of their advertising and targeting into Instagram. It's already kind of there, but I think that's why the founders left. A few months ago, is that Facebook execs just kept pushing more, wanted more of the real estate on Instagram because that's where the growth is coming from. But for marketers and for e-commerce people out there, this is actually good news, because now Facebook advertising is super powerful, super targeted, and you can do a lot of it on Instagram, but I think there's going to be more now. And then kind of part of that, obviously, if you guys are regular listeners of the podcast, we talk about Instagram shopping. Right now, that's still free. So Instagram shopping is free. Pretty much guaranteed that in 2019 there's going to be some sort of paid option to probably a boosted posts or some way to. There's going to be some way that they're going to monetize Instagram shopping. So right now it's free. Get on there. Get Instagram going. There's going to be more with Instagram stories. I don't love Instagram stories. I hate vertical video, but I know, these kids these days holding their phones up with their thumb on it. That's kind of the way. Vertical video, I guess, we can't fight it. So there's a lot more coming with Instagram, but in general, I think, boost your Instagram game for 2019 is a good takeaway from that. And so I think what we're seeing from that is we're going to have a lot more people online. The barrier to entry is going to be a lot easier with Instagram and Facebook, so you don't even really need a full store. So that's going to be a lot more people online, which means for everybody listening to the show, you have to up your game a little bit. The good thing is we are giving you all the tools here. So that's what we want to talk about today. So the topic of today is automated marketing for 2019. So hopefully if you guys are, you got your workout plans and your diet plan, dry Januaries, let's get what are you going to do for your business? So I think today we're going to talk about two strategies. That this is your workout plan and your diet. These are things that you should implement for 2019, and they're both automated. So you don't have to do the work.
It won't even take you a whole month to do this.
No, this is you could do this today. This is a one-day thing. So this is where you can pull over and write down the note. So we're going to talk about specifically Google Shopping. So that's PPC. And then Facebook remarketing, which is also PPC. So these are both paid marketing things. If you're like, I won't pay, then that this is probably not for you. But these are both paid options for traffic. And what I like about them is that if there were not automated options available right now, I would advise people that I know, friends of mine in the e-commerce world, that these are the two things you should do for e-commerce. You should have Google Shopping set up, and you should have dynamic remarketing on both Facebook and Google. But
and they could literally, other than having your product photos in the store and your descriptions and your prices, other than the basic store setup, these should be maybe Google Analytics then.
Sure.
Right? And then these two things.
This is a first month thing. This is not a when you finally made it, you should do this. This is not like a fancy bell and whistle later on. This is blocking and tackling. This is the evergreen marketing strategies that everybody should have. Every e-commerce owner should at least have tried these for several months if you really intend to make this a good solid business. If you're just playing around, like, you don't have to do this, but if you're doing this to make money, these are the things you should do.
Well, we won't go super deep on it, but let's just say this one thing. When you spend money on Google or Facebook, do they help you sell things?
Yes.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
You might not totally understand it yet. You might not totally get why we're saying this, but these guys aren't in a business to just spend our money and not send us customers back.
Yeah, they're not ripping you off. Google and Facebook are not trying to rip you off. This is not a scam. They take your money and send you customers back that makes you money. That's their whole business model. So these are the kind of the best options. I would say there's a lot of things you can do. We'll start on Google Shopping first. There's a lot of things you can do with Google. I've done all sorts of text ads for 10 years, but Google Shopping for e-commerce is kind of the cream of the crop. A couple of years ago, this was really hard.
Oh man.
Yeah. So we can throw out
agencies.
You either had to hire a developer, you hire an agency to set it up for you, unless you can do XML feeds or how to download a product feed into CSV and upload it, and it's out of date. It was just complicated, right? So we'll forget about those acronyms. You don't have to worry about it because now it's very easy. So you can take your product feed inside your store. This is with Ecwid. If you guys are on other platforms, boo. No, if you're on other platforms, there's probably an option too. Maybe it's not quite as easy, but you should be doing this if you're in e-commerce, no matter what platform you're on. With Ecwid, we have the ability to sync your product feed into a Google Shopping account that's fully automated. So the syncing is automated, and then the running of the campaign is automated. And there are we go into more detail on some other podcasts, so you can search back for those. But the gist of it is everybody has created a product feed if you're in e-commerce. So you have the name of the product, you have a description. You do need a fairly big description. You can't just have 5 words in your description of the product. But this app takes those words, and when people search, it matches up. There's all sorts of AI behind the scenes here that matches up. When people are searching on Google, if your product matches their search, you'll be displayed on the top of Google. And by the top of Google, I mean it's the picture of your product and the price and the name of the product right underneath it. It's magical.
And to be clear, it's the picture, the product, the title that you've already done the work for.
Correct.
So this is we're going to let you know in a few minutes here how to do this. It's literally like 3 steps, I think it was. And that's it. Like, your store's already set up. This is 30 minutes, and that's only because...
Yeah, that's probably put in your credit card and your address.
The whole entire, every single thing, start to finish.
Yeah.
So,
and I think the good part about it too is this is not, it might be, it was an advanced level feature a couple years ago, but it's not, it is for newbies as well. So if you're like, I launched this store and where's my sales, where's my traffic? Well, you probably don't have any traffic because Google, it's not like people just send traffic to your store. Like you have to get the traffic to it.
Well, somewhere or another, we again won't go deep on this, but somewhere or another, you're spending money. You're either spending money because it's taking you a lot of time to go the organic route. You create podcasts, you do whatever all these little things are to make search come back to you, but that still takes time. Someone's got to sit there, they got to do it, they got to put it all together, or you pay money via advertising. And the people who are looking for that thing, it comes back. So one way or another, you're going to be spending money. The difference between why we're talking about this specifically is you can't just turn on the spigot of SEO.
Sure.
You can't just turn on the spigot, but you can turn on the spigot of I pay $5.73 and they send me a customer. Whatever. I made up a number there, obviously.
Sure.
But
yeah, and the beauty is that you can do this right away. So if you have a product, I happen to be holding a water bottle right now. It's a insulated wood-covered water bottle. Is that how you describe it? I don't know. Fake wood. But if I had a store selling wood-covered insulated water bottles and you Googled that right now, that would be the picture of this product that would show up. So, I mean, that's pretty amazing. Like that would take a long time in a lot of other ways, but maybe that wasn't the best example of a product, but people can type that in right now and you can pay to have your product displayed and it's on the top of Google with the price right there. If they don't like it, they think the price is too high, they're probably not going to click on it. So it's a very quick test of your store. Like, is this going to work or not? And it's really good for new people. So that's kind of to me, this should be a basic strategy for getting that first amount of traffic to your site. So definitely something to do. If you do want to do this right now, just to give you the where do I go here. So inside of Ecwid, you go to the Ecwid Control Panel. You go to all sales channels on the left, and you go to Google Shopping. Depending on when you listen to this, there's going to be some sort of promotion. Right now, we have a spend $150, get $150 for free. So even better that as you're learning here, you're getting some free money from Google on that. So definitely want to encourage people that if you're thinking you just need some traffic to your store to see if this is going to work or not, that's the way. This is do it. So you can
that's
leading horses to water here. Yeah,
I love free money.
Yeah. So that's a basic strategy that you should put this in place. Watch the numbers, etc. So the second strategy we want to talk about is, okay, you got some traffic to your store. How do you close the deal? How do you get people coming back? So the second strategy is a bit of a mouthful, but it's dynamic product remarketing. You can do this both with Google and with Facebook. We're going to focus a little bit more on Facebook with this, so you kind of cover the two big traffic networks. But kind of backing up a little bit on Facebook marketing. So if you've read about it or heard podcasts and things, you might be thinking, hey, Facebook advertising is kind of hard. And yeah, it is. There's a bunch of different options. You have boosted posts. You have to create images, videos, carousels, instant experiences, Instagram stories, Messenger, targeting options, lookalikes. Okay, all this stuff that you're supposed to know for Facebook marketing. If you're going to be like work in an agency to do Facebook marketing, you do have to learn all that stuff. All right, but for now, forget about all of that. You don't have to know those terms. Maybe an in-depth podcast another day, you can do it. We're just going to skip to the very most productive and the best ROI, like the gem of all Facebook advertising, which is dynamic product remarketing. All right. So again, kind of a mouthful, but what that means is when somebody goes to your store and they go onto the product page for the insulated water bottle with faux wood covering and they don't buy it, when they go to that visitor, could be that same day, could be a week or 2 weeks later, they're on Facebook and Instagram and they see that product. They see the exact same product with the same price, right in their news feed or where there's all sorts of different ways you can see this product, but the product kind of follows them around. Right?
Yeah. And it's not because they're listening to your phone. It's because you went to the site and they pixeled and
down the whole
that's the thing. People a couple years ago were like,
this is amazing.
Or people were creepy. They're like they thought it was creepy that they're on my phone and like no, this is very simple technology. It's a pixel. I think people are very used to it now. It's like everybody's seen this and they know that when you go to a website and you visit a product, it's likely you're going to be targeted with it later. And they think it's some like you had this giant agency behind you doing this. No, it's actually very simple to do.
Yeah, and it's not like people are you're going to try to buy this, right? But the reason why this retargeting is so useful is most people that go to your site, not trying to sound disheartening, but most people aren't going to buy.
Correct.
They're like, what is the 1% to 2%?
Yeah, maybe 3. Like, somewhere but 1% to 3% is like a normal conversion rate.
Yeah, around where conversational commerce will be.
Yes.
But where I'm going with that is, if we've all heard, whether it was our old sales manager, our grandfather, or whoever, someone said it's 5 to 10 touch points. So what did that mean back in the day? You had to make a cold call. You had to send a snail mail. You had to do all these different things. They'd see it on a billboard. They'd see it. And then eventually they'd see it enough times. They'd come buy it.
Yep.
But this is a way you don't have to do all those things.
Yeah.
This is what I love about these two tactics.
Yep.
It's, I'm going to have to do something. I'm going to have to go click a couple buttons. I'm going to spend half an hour to an hour to do these two things. And I'm going to spend a little bit of money, but they're going to send me traffic because their business, more or less, both their models is advertising. Mm-hmm. And here's something that, again, I'm not trying to make people seem like that's bad that they think that's bad, but it's free. And good news or bad news, if something is free, you're probably the commodity.
Sure.
Right? Like Google would
and what you mean is Google and Facebook are free to users.
Yes, exactly. And so I bet you no questions asked if all of a sudden people say, "Oh, I'll pay $50 a year to use Facebook and never have ads," they'd be all over it. Because I think they only average like $34. I won't go deep in that, but I think they average, I saw a number like $34 per user. That's amazing, right?
Yep.
But they're getting that via ads because they're sending people business.
Yep.
They're sending people business. So take advantage of what everyone else is doing to you and do the same thing.
For sure, yeah. You're just tapping into, I mean, these are two giant companies. They run the advertising world. And what we talked about here was not just, go to Google and figure it out, or go to Facebook and figure it out. These are like the gems of both of their advertising models, right? Like this is the ones that automatically work, and you don't have to do the work. You don't have to create an ad. You already took a picture of your product and put it in your Ecwid catalog, right? So we're just taking that same data and blasting these photos. Not blasting the photos is a bad word, but like we're showing these photos to very targeted people that looked at them, had some sort of interest, and maybe didn't buy it right then, but maybe later on, maybe a week later, they're in a buying mood. Or I actually think I think they're better ads to me personally than other random ads. I'm like, okay, I was looking at
because you kind of know. At least you kind of know it's an ad. It's the one way I've been feeling about it these days. Either do creative stuff that's helpful for your clients, or make it be an ad. But don't try to make it be both. It's kind of weird. Yeah,
or do creative stuff, get people to your site, and now they're pixeled and they will be remarketed, right? So this is why you want to do this. I know we talked a little bit about this earlier. Like, yeah, all the other things you can do, or that we talk about in other podcasts, or you just know of. Like, yes, you want to get people to your site, but if you don't have remarketing set up, you're going to pay or do all this work to get people to your site, and then you're not taking advantage of the fact that maybe they didn't buy right then. So these are two good ways. One brings new people to your site. The second one brings those same people back to your site to buy. And these are evergreen strategies, both things you should be doing throughout the year. So I just want to encourage people, like these are the gems of Facebook and Google. So definitely get out there and take advantage of these.
Yeah, and that one's just as easy to set up. So going into their Ecwid Control Panel.
Yep. So yeah, you go to the Ecwid Control Panel. You're going to go to the app. This is probably going to change in a couple months. So if you're hearing this later on in 2019, we're going to elevate this because we believe so strongly in it. But right now, you go to the app section, the app market, and you look for the app called Facebook and Google Retargeting. Then follow the process there. You're going to be linking up some catalogs, syncing. There's a Facebook pixel that needs to be in there. That's kind of the magic secret sauce for Facebook.
But again, you're not writing any code. You're not doing anything. You're just pressing the button.
Don't be scared by that. Like it's very easy. But yeah, you need to follow the process there. It's going to take a couple minutes. But we made this very simple because we want to help people out, and we know this is one of the best ways to help people out get their store going. So that's how you do it. So these are two strategies for 2019. This is the workout, right? Like you're gonna get out and jog. This is this is what we need to be doing for 2019. So our first request for you, we don't really make many requests on this podcast,
Yeah. We gave you two tips. We're gonna have two requests now.
Yeah. So the first one is go do one of those. So go to just please,
or both.
Do both. Yeah. Do one of those. Do both because we believe it'll make you successful. The second one, we would like a favor for 2019. So we haven't asked. So please, if you're listening to this, go subscribe via your favorite podcast player. So we're on iTunes, Stitcher, Spotify, Google Play, SoundCloud. So we pretty much have them all the podcast players. So if you're listening to this on the website, please go to your whatever favorite podcast player, because we want to be able to be in touch with you regularly and help you out. And that helps us know that we're doing the right thing here, right?
Yeah. Well, and it's also good to get feedback. We'd love 5-star reviews and all that stuff, but whatever review you think we deserve, give it to us. You want us to cover certain things, or you like when we cover certain things, we still have the email as well.
Yeah, so yes, please subscribe, but definitely want to get some reviews from people too. Like we don't have, we want to get your feedback. So if you think it's a 5-star, please give us a 5-star review. The comments. If you have any requests for us, like you can go to ecwid.com/podcast, and there's comments there. You can say, hey, I want you to cover this topic, or we actually also on the bottom there's a button to sign up if you want to be on the show. We've had a few guests on right now. We need a few more. So if you want to be a guest on our show, please tell us why you think you'd be an interesting guest. Do you have an interesting product, a great story? What else are we looking for, Rich?
Well, we just want to help, right? It's partially why we started the first request with, please go do this. Yeah. We've been horrible at asking in return, but we just figure every time someone subscribes, rates, or reviews, we get more info on what you'd like more, like us to cover more, all that. So we just want to keep in touch with you. We want you to be successful.
All right, guys. I think that's a pretty good closing thought there. So 2019, blocking and tackling, get out there and get these marketing things going and make 2019 a great year.
Sounds good. See you later, Jess.
Happy New Year. Do you have followers? Do you have an audience? Do you have influence that you haven't turned into money? We can. YouTubers, podcasters, speakers, streamers, authors, and Instagrammers, we can help you turn your influence into money with a print-on-demand store on Ecwid. Not only do we know how to build it, we'll build it for you. If you are that influencer that's ready for results, we have an opportunity for you. Email podcasts@ecwid.com. That's podcasts with an S at ecwid.com.